Join thousands of other smart business owners who have finally realized review sites, daily deal sites, and pay-per-click ads are just too expensive and simply don't work. They have learned the power of becoming a Scout Puppy local trusted merchant and are being rewarded with new customers and solid steady growth for their small business. The experts at Scout Puppy build you a powerful one-page standalone website on steroids, hosted on their platform. It includes all content writing, paired with over 40 strong keywords, pictures of your small business, a video, links back to your existing company website or social media, and contact info. They then submit your website to over 200 search engines, giving you maximum exposure to receive tons of free organic traffic and new customers. All of this for just $89 a month, no contracts. Go to scoutpuppy.com and click Add Your Business to sign up today. And on the checkout page, our savvy listeners get a 50% discount for the first month. Enter SBR50. Our guest today is Miki Agrawal, a return guest to Savvy. Is a serial entrepreneur. She is also sharing her latest awesome product today called TUSHY. You can find out more at hellotushy.com. TUSHY is revolutionizing the American toilet category with modern, affordable, designer bidet attachments that both upgrade human health and hygiene as well as the environment from wasteful toilet paper consumption. Find out more and get your very own TUSHY today at hellotushy.com. Hi, Miki. Welcome back to Savvy Business Radio. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
You betcha. And I'm excited to have you here today because we started a new segment called Heartbeat of the World, where we really talk about difficult subjects that people are uncomfortable to talk about, crisis around the world, and things that people want to see fixed, but, often don't get talked about. Or if they do, they get talked about with rapport and nastiness and division. But you are a disruptor out there, talking about things that are very kind of taboo sometimes and bringing it to the forefront. And that is talking about period, poop, and other hygiene for women. Things that are supposed to be taboo and shameful, which is silly, being that we have to all do this sort of thing as human beings. But before we get started talking about your latest product, tell the audience a little bit about your background if they missed our first couple interviews.
Yeah, so I'm half Japanese, half Indian, born and raised in Montreal, Canada, and went to college in the United States at Cornell. And then my family moved to Connecticut when I was 20 years old and they were there for 15 years thereafter. I moved to New York right after Cornell, working in investment banking. And then, 9/11 happened. I was supposed to be there on that day. And then fast forward, decided to pursue my passions at an early age. And so I played soccer professionally for the New York Magic. I worked in the film business, and I started my first business, which was a restaurant concept, which I still have 3 locations now. They're gluten-free farm-to-table pizza concepts called Wild. Check out eatdrinkwild.com. And then thereafter I started Thinks, which is a period-proof underwear brand. My favorite saying, one of my favorite sayings is necessity is the mother of invention. And basically, I started the restaurants because I had stomach aches. I started Thinks because I kept having accidents on my period every single month and couldn't find a great product that both felt really great and comfortable in my body, but also, looked and felt great. So, and that actually worked properly. Yes. So I started Thinks, then, to solve that need. And then, by creating Thinks, I realized that, that millions of girls around the world are missing a week of school because of their periods. And that was causing girls to drop out of school, women to be, less productive in the world. And so really the goal was just to break the taboo in, the category that women should not be ashamed about, but should actually feel empowered by. And so that really took off the business, and, proudly, serving millions and millions of women globally. And then most recently I started a company called TUSHY, which is looking to reimagine the toilet category. Right now 15 million trees are getting flushed down the toilet every single year just to make toilet paper. And if you actually explore toilet paper and what it does, you're you're wiping your dirtiest part of your body with dry paper and sitting on that all day long, all that infection and issues and that causes issues like urinary tract infections, hemorrhoids, anal fissures from all the rubbing. The harsh chemicals on the toilet paper are just not great for your health hygiene, and it's terrible for the planet. And also for your pocketbook. I mean, we're spending, a couple $100 on toilet paper every single year, at least. And so, what I've invented is a simple bidet that attaches to any standard toilet, looks like an iPhone next to your toilet. So it's beautifully designed, lovely, shape and design. It takes 10 minutes to install. It's only $69, unlike those very expensive Japanese bidets. And it helps save, millions of trees from getting flushed down. You still have to use a little bit to pat dry, but you're using either 80% less toilet paper, or you can use our organic bamboo butt towels, which are beautiful and soft. And here's one of them. They're just really soft and comfortable. And you can just pat yourself dry like you're jumping out of a shower, and you just pat dry with a towel. It's clean. It's not like a weird thing. So in Italy, they don't use toilet paper; they use towels. And all over the world, they oftentimes don't use toilet paper because it's too expensive and it's just bad resource. It's hard to get, and it's just ridiculous to have to buy that over and over again. And so, I'm really proud to say that we've helped save so many trees, and we're helping improve the lives of Americans, but then also, and sort of the first world people who can have a bidet. But then, for every TUSHY sold, we're helping fund the development of clean sanitation facilities. And so we've helped now over 12,000 families gain access to clean sanitation all over India. I'm really proud of that work. And by the way, our TUSHY, there's again no plumbing or electrical required. It comes with a little splitter and a hose. You just where you turn your water off behind your toilet, you just turn that off. You just you just unscrew the thing. You put the splitter in, and then you remove the toilet seat, pop in the bidet, and then you're done in 10 minutes. Anyone who can barely hang a painting like me can install the TUSHY. It's super simple and easy. So no plumbing, no electrical, only $69, and it really just changes the game. It changes everything. Like, it's actually a life-changing product for myself, which is why I want to create this product for more people.
Well, when I heard about this new product, I was super excited because I've heard of hemorrhoids all my life, and I didn't know what the heck they were until I got them this year.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my, this is completely unfun. But my boyfriend for years has hated toilet paper and uses Wipies.
Which is, wet wipes it strips away the natural oils from your behind, and over time it causes anal fissures, which is like lacerations in your butt, which is like the most painful. People have to have surgery because they have fissures. And so over time, like, we've helped so many people who've had those issues eliminate the wet wipes and just use water, which is like the universal solvent, is water. And, so I would highly recommend that he use a bidet instead.
Yeah. Well, I know they've had it in France forever and in Europe, but I never even considered it here until I heard about your product. And I thought, wow, this could be the lifesaver, because these are completely unfun having these, and I'm sure I'm not the only one with this issue.
Yeah, and wet wipes are also terrible for plumbing systems. New York City is trying to ban them. It cost $18 million in the last few years just for wet wipe blockages in sewage pipe.
Do people put that in the toilet? Because they're not supposed to.
I know, but most people do. And so it's just big cities want to ban wet wipes and all. Yeah, they're just bad for the environment. They end up in landfills and in oceans. It's just awful. So
I had thought they were a good alternative, but this sounds way better, and I'm so glad that you've created it. Now, you also created another underwear for people who have leakage with pee icon, which I thought was fabulous, because when I heard about things, I thought, I wonder if this will help people with peeing issues.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. People who are, have had children, or as we age as women, 1 in 3 women experience light bladder leakage. And so we created a pair of underwear called Icon specifically for that. And then for every Icon underwear sold, we helped fund fistula operations, which basically when a woman gives birth in the developing world, the developed world, and they kind of tear because you have this gigantic baby coming out of your tiny little area.
Yeah.
You tear often, and oftentimes it just stitches back up. It's part of the thing. But in the developing world, they have a baby and then they're just peeing because their bladder gets burst, has a laceration in it and opens, and there's no way to heal. So to fix that, and so they just pee themselves all day long, which then shuns them from their communities. They get disowned by their families and put in these fistula camps to die. And so we've helped, hundreds, of women have, their lives back by just funding surgeries for women who have obstetric fistula.
Yeah. And how did you learn about some of these issues? Did you travel over to third world countries and see these and decide, okay, we got to do something that can not only help the United States, but the world?
Yeah. I mean, I've been to India 6 times, Africa twice. And, in my experience, I mean, the sanitation crisis is one of the biggest killers. Over 1 billion people practice, open defecation. People have so many issues down there with that sanitation pace that we feel that we're so lucky to have just not think about it. Whereas, people in the developing world have to think about it. Like women in India and Africa have to hold in their pee and their poop all day long, because if they just relieve themselves out in the open, there's nowhere for them to relieve themselves. They can get raped, they can get accosted, they can get hurt. So women have to wait till late at night and go as a group and walk miles away to go and relieve themselves because they're so threatened. So this is the life of so a lot of women are malnourished and dehydrated because they don't want to drink or eat too much because they don't want to have to pee or poop during the day. It's just a vicious, terrible cycle. Yeah. And so, we're really, creating bathrooms that have accessible to women and men.
Yeah. And that's interesting you bring that up because, we don't think here we have toilets everywhere. Most places, if you have a home over your head, you have a toilet that comes with it. So you just get to relieve yourself when you want, how you want. You never think, oh, what if I can't relieve myself? And it's a gift to have that. And on top of that, I'm guessing in third world countries also, they don't really have good toilets and they probably spill into the water system. And that's yet another reason why it's hard to get probably good drinking water.
Yes. And I also just, recently, we did some research, and in the United States specifically, there are places where there's really poor people who don't have good sanitation, so they do have to poop outside. And so that's actually happening in this country. So we're going to look into that more and help fund those as well.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting because recently we heard in California, there's some places where they're really struggling with a lot of poor in the street. And then they also don't have a home. So they're having to do it in the street, which is unhealthy for everyone, them and everyone in the city.
Absolutely. It's just terrible for the city. It's just it's just smells. So it's not pleasant to be in. It just causes not a fun condition to live in. And so, we just want to, serve everyone, serve the planet specifically. We just terrorize this planet. People just don't think about the gift that we're being given by Mother Nature and how we just terrorize her every day and just consume and consume and consume and take and take and take. And to be able to just think a little bit and be conscious and give back to the planet, by doing conscious things like using a little bit of water to properly wipe yourselves instead of using trees, to wipe yourself and to clean yourself. You're saving not only, your health, hygiene, pocketbook, all the things, but you're saving the planet. And I think that's the most important thing. I mean, Seattle and other places have now cut out plastic straws, which are really great. And now it's really, I think toilet paper is really the next plastic straw. We really that we want toilet paper to be seen as something that's really, really irresponsible to use.
Yeah. And we don't think about it, but actually, the water bottles, I love water and I get water all the time, but they come in the plastic bottles. We've got to find a way to get water out there in a bigger way.
We have to be charged for the bottles. If people are charged for extra for the bottles, then, versus bringing your own bottle, I feel like the more, for example, in Ithaca, New York, you pay for trash and recycling is free. So I think that's brilliant, where it forces people to think conserve because it costs them money to just throw things in the trash. So I think we should start doing that in our cities. I would want to be charged more for trash so that I would, everyone really focuses on recycling, on composting, etc.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just that New York is so busy, but when I've gone places and said, hey, can I use my own materials, to put my my meat in or something, they get a bit icky, well, I have to do this. This is the rules, la, la, la. But really, you can just weigh it without the container, then put the container, but they get a bit fudgy. And I think unless people, you start making it we have to all do this, guys, because there was just one family and I think they're in California where the whole family
wrap it in just a little bit of paper instead of doing those gigantic plastic containers. Exactly.
And even I think it should be okay to bring your own container of any sort as long as you can make sure
it's
Yeah. I mean, this one family, and they're not in New York or in any big city. They're in the Midwest somewhere. But the whole family has decided to be super frugal. Their whole 2 weeks garbage is this much. I mean, it's what one person generally does in New York City a day.
One day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But they actually use the same dishes, and like the glass, they'll pass it around so that we'll all drink the same glass or something like that. And then they go to the store with glass containers and they fill up what they need. But the store owners, they said, gave them a hard time at first, and then they kind of push and they said, okay, we know you, and they let them do it. But I'm like wondering, what's the push about? It's
I know with my restaurants, one of my thoughts was to get like delivery containers that can just get recycled in the community. You pay like a membership, and then what comes with that is access to like the delivery system, and then you like when you get another replenishment, you get the other one just goes back to the place.
That's great.
People just want convenience, and that's just ridiculous. Like instead of just doing an extra little step, like I remember like when I was, really young in Montreal, Canada, we got like our milk delivered in these glass things, and the milkman would come and then he would, back when milk was not gross and actually made from like local organic, like,
I get sick from milk.
I know I don't drink milk anymore. I mean, I don't drink milk anymore, but when I was really, really young, just a system of the milkman would come, pick up the bottles and replenish it, and then would go and take off. Like, why can't we do that again? Like, that's just totally, that makes sense.
Yeah. And tell me about the diaper thing. What are you doing with Hero? Are you using natural diapers, or have you switched yet?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I spent like $500 on all the natural diapers. And in fact, I'm actually working on one that's myself, because they're all shit. They really are just all bad. So I'm actually, working with a product designer to reinvent baby diapers, because it's just ridiculous. Like now he's wearing those like biodegradable kind of ones, but we also get honest diapers when we have to on the go. Like it's really hard.
Yeah, it is. And I know
with poop, it's like I cleaned poop for like months in the beginning, and it was just like so hard. So now you have these liners that we use, but like, it's still hard.
Yeah. And what about the new diapers? Because in the old days, my grandma used natural diapers on my mom. What happened that they're not well made? I guess they just don't care about the product anymore because no one's using it.
It's just like to wipe out poop from like a diaper that's cloth.
Yeah.
You have to like deal with it. It's just gross.
Yeah.
So it's like, if there was a way to do it where you can just have like a super thin liner that goes in, which those exist, but they're just not that great. And you just rip the liner out and use the underwear. They're still not that great. The products that are out there, they're just big, gigantic fleece things that are just awful. So it needs to be made much, much better.
Well, it'll come about soon, thanks to you, I'm sure. Now, for anyone dealing with the icon, because I like the icon colors and stuff, if you have a period, can you transpose and use the icon for periods and stuff?
I can.
Yeah,
you can. We like to keep it separate. I mean, they're completely different technologies, but they can kind of be used for both, for sure.
That's great. Yeah. So everyone go check out. But let everyone know before we go any deeper and before we end out here, where they can get all of your product, not just Tushy, which is a fabulous new product.
And by the way, with Tushy, do not go to tushy.com. It's a porn site. Go to hellotushy.com. hellotushy.com. Tushy.com is quite a graphic porn site. So definitely go to hellotushy.com. And then you can find out all my projects just at mikiagrawal.com. Everything is there. Miki Agrawal, MikiAgrawal.com.
Yes. And the first time we had you on here, because the first time we talked about thinks.com or She Thinks, we had on Antonia, right? Antonia? Yes. And then we had you on second to talk about your awesome book, Do Cool Shit.
Yep. I have another book coming out called Disrupt Her. It comes out in January.
Awesome. That'll be perfect timing because this will come out next month. We'll get people revved up to go get your book.
Yeah. Disrupt Her. It comes out, the Manifesto for the Modern Woman, comes out January 29th.
That's great.
It's very exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. And the first time we had you on, what was great about Do Cool Shit is that people get stuck in unhappy jobs or in a happy situation, thinking this is the only way to live life. And what I love about what you're doing in your life is you've created the life that is authentically you. You're not like anyone else. And you're like, I don't have to sit at a job. If you do, that's fine. If you love it. But if you don't, complaining every day and saying, I hate this life, there is something better for you.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, so you can go get Do Cool Shit at any major book distributor, can't you?
Bookstores, Amazon, everywhere. Yep.
Yeah.
And Disruptor starting January 29th. You can actually still pre-order it early, and we're doing a lot of bonus stuff to those. We're giving a lot of bonuses. Sort of, I filmed a 45-part masterclass on entrepreneurship, which I'm going to give to those who pre-order. So there's a lot of fun things.
And they can get that still at your website, MikiAgrawal.com.
Yeah, they can go to Amazon and get Disruptor, and then if they just message it at MikiAgrawal.com and just share proof that they bought a ticket or bought a book, then they'll get sent the 45-part masterclass.
Fabulous. And you also do speaking around the globe, talking about disrupting and your product. Share a little bit about your speaking for anyone out there who wants to.
Yeah, I talk a lot about disruptive innovation. I talk about creativity, how to think creatively in entrepreneurship. Talk about how to create really strong marketing campaigns that can, change culture and build business, massively. Andrew and I are going to speak all over the Middle East at the end of November, which we're really excited about. We're going to Bahrain, we're going to Dubai, and then we're going to Kenya and South Africa to speak. Yeah, so I love speaking. I think it's, I love just, giving the value and all the knowledge that I've gained. I love just sharing out the knowledge. So yeah, so you can check out and you can request any engagement at MikiAgrawal.com.
Yeah. And that's awesome because Miki, there's a lot of businesses out there that keep on doing the run of the mill, same thing. You've got to keep disrupting it.
That's right.
You want to stay out there.
That's right.
Well, I thank you again, Miki. It's been such a pleasurable time reconnecting and interviewing with you again. And thank you for coming back to Savvy. Everyone go to MikiAgrawal.com today. Get the book. Get TUSHY to save your butt from any hemorrhoids, any awful.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Just to upgrade your experience and have a really go from a disgusting, gross experience to a lovely, hygienic, tree-saving experience, money-saving experience. Truly.
It's a win-win for everyone. The trees, us, the environment.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you again, Miki, for coming to Savvy Business Radio.
Thanks for having me.
Savvy Business Radio, drawing out the best from our guests with our host, Christina Nichman.